All right, we are live for another episode of Real Estate Junkies Podcast. Today we have a conversation with Todd Hasty, a real estate agent who has over 20 years of experience. Todd will share with us how he has turned his business around after facing some challenges and why he decided to invest in his growth with Boss Agents Academy. And if you are looking for real advice on how to grow your real estate business and get real results, this is a conversation you don't want to miss. So, Todd, it's a pleasure to finally have you on the podcast and share your journey and experience. So, let's jump right in. Um, Share with us, what was your journey like getting into real estate, and what have you been able to accomplish, and what was some of the initial challenges you have faced getting in your business?
Well, first off, I appreciate you inviting me on this podcast, Saeed.
For sure.
When I started in real estate in 2003, and listings were still in this area pretty new as far as uh, the internet and
Yeah.
online stuff. It was
Yeah.
still in the early stages, but I moved. I was in my 40s, changed careers completely, moved to another town. I had an opportunity, and I was going through some life changes and stuff, and it was time for a new direction. And so I was in a different town, didn't know anyone, and
Mm.
was had an opportunity to work with a developer doing a lake development, and kind of a natural extension of that was for me to get my real estate license
Mm.
and help market and to work with sales. So
Okay. And what was it like? So you basically moved out of the area you were in where you had a lot of relationships, but when you basically moved completely to a new area, and that's when you really started your business without any relationships or anything.
I worked for a small company, and it was all new to me. And they pretty much just threw us in there. And I
Mm.
was more of a salesperson for a
Yeah.
specific development
Yeah.
for the first year.
Hmm.
And so there wasn't. I mean, it was very minimal training. I'll say
Yeah.
that. And so it was kind of just. Uh, they set up a lot of sales, and they did the marketing for us.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of throw you out there, and either you could sell some lake lots and keep going, or if you couldn't do it, then you'd have to go do
Yeah.
something else.
So with that experience, right? Like not getting enough trainings, and then after that developer, tell us how. I guess what was some of the biggest struggles that you have faced early on in your career, in your business, and especially balancing between working for someone and then going on your own. What were some of those challenges?
Well, I had always wanted tools and tools and training, and being with pretty small company and kind of a narrow focus company. It was there wasn't any real training, and then as I progressed and I changed, and it was I worked with a fellow for 15 years, and he's since passed away. But he was a great mentor as far as sales.
Mm.
But he was old school, and so whatever, we just didn't have a lot of training
Yeah. Yeah.
as far as and database and all of that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we had hanging files, and I found one of these cards, and this was our database, and it had name, address, phone number, and some hanging
Kind of
files.
like a Rolodex, right?
Yeah, and but I had a whole file drawer full of them, and you had a hot list and kind of that, but it was all, that's how it was done. And that worked for a long time. And it was, it produced pretty well. And then, well, been doing it up until the 2007 into 2007 and 8,
Yeah.
and that was a struggle, and that hit this area really hard
Yeah.
because a lot of it was second homes and second properties.
Yeah. So what was that like going into a down market and coming back up? What did you do during that time to be able to survive? And now that you look back, what would you do differently today?
Well, we just kind of toughed it out and did different things.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, it was kind of just ride it out.
Mm.
And uh, what I regret, I'm glad. I wish I had done it sooner.
Yeah.
Was because then after the market picked back up, and especially when COVID hit, and that was about the time I went to EXP, and
Mm.
it was very, very busy, and it was a really good. There was a lot of people come to this area, and it was very busy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't think I spent enough time really growing my business
Yeah.
and working on consistency.
Yeah.
And that was the main thing. Because even having these good years, consistency is what lacked a lot of times, and it would
Yeah.
be feast or famine.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people go through that. So I guess like what made you realize that you needed to invest in yourself and join a program like ours? And despite having 20 years of experience in real estate, like why are you making this move now to be able to create that consistency in your business?
Well, I think part of it was just this last year and not having or seeing business not getting as much repeat business
Yeah.
as I was accustomed to getting, and just feeling like there was something missing.
Mm,
And then August 17th was out there
yeah.
with the changes in the market,
Mm,
and working with Zillow and some of these other things had not been as profitable. And
yeah.
I knew I was missing something
Yeah.
as far as just a system
Hmm.
that was just kind of a comprehensive
Yeah.
system, something that was. So I started looking at different programs, Said, and that's what
Yeah.
I was, because I mean, this was not the first one I looked at.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, that was kind of my journey. It's like, well, I need to do something because I'm not ready to retire, and I want to get back to the level I was at, and
Yeah.
then go on to the next level.
Yeah. And I think most people have felt that over the last 2 years, right? Especially people that have been in business long time, right? At least 10 years, right? That they have seen what is possible in real estate, and then they have gone through making a ton of money, right? And then suddenly that they got used to it, right? They got used to seeing just money deals coming into the pipeline whenever they feel like making money. And then there's a lot of agents, team leaders that we talk to on a regular basis these days, and even agents that has been in business 5 years, they're like, when we talk to them, like, okay, I had great business over the last 5 years. I had, I almost feel like, I didn't even have to work to build this up, right? I had a lot of referrals. They relied on a lot of referrals. And then over the last 2 years, specifically last 1 year, some of those sources have either dried up because of the market shift, right? Because your referrals, you're just kind of relying on people who are deciding to reach out to you, right? And then is there, for our viewers and to get them some benefit out of your experience, is that was there a specific moment or a trigger or a challenge in your business that made you decide that this was the right time to invest in a new approach or mentorship?
Well, I had time.
Yeah.
I had time, and what I was doing wasn't working
Mm,
like it had in the past.
yeah.
And so I was actively looking for more training, a different
Mm,
system. I felt like I was falling behind
Yeah.
with tech, using technology, using social media.
Mm.
Um, I wanted to be more proactive, and I think like using buying leads through web through the real estate websites was being more reactive.
Yeah.
Like you would get a lead, and that's when you would spring into and a lot of them just weren't working like they are in the past. So the
Yeah.
market had shifted for me, and I was just ready to grow my business.
Yeah.
I needed to grow. I was falling behind in production, the last couple of years,
Yeah.
and it was a time to do something.
So you didn't just keep falling behind, falling behind, falling behind, and constantly having to chase, kind of like those sellers out there that want to list the property high and then chase the market down, right? So what I guess, like, you mentioned you've been looking for programs out there. What initially attracted you to our program? Was it a particular solution we were offering, or something you saw that resonated with where you were in your business, in your journey?
I think just what some of I was seeing, and a lot of it was on workplace,
Mm.
was it spoke to me,
Yeah.
and it was some of what uh, I mean. It really just spoke to me, and I thought, well, um, I need to give something a shot. And then when I looked into it, and and and, and after I'd spoke with you, and then a little further and looked at the system, it's like, well, there's some pretty good substance here.
Yeah.
I need to I need to give this a shot, and because I'm skeptical of stuff, and I'm so uh, once I started the training, and I was kind of impatient, but then I started seeing, well, there's a method to this, you know, to what we're doing,
Madness.
and why, yeah, method to this madness, and then it started to make sense, and then my activity has picked up to them, and a lot of it is people that I've worked with in the past, and kind of rekindling some of those relationships
Yeah.
without spending money
Mhm.
on paid leads,
Yeah.
and working with people that, because I've had a huge contact,
Yeah.
number of contacts, but working with people that already were familiar with me, and then trying to uh, implementing some technology and some stuff that I knew enough to be kind of dangerous on. And so that's where I'm at in the program right now, is implementing some more of the technology and some of the stuff. But what I've started using already has turned into some business. So
No, I think people underestimate that a lot, right? We talk to agents on a daily basis that are looking to buy leads, right? On a daily basis. And they haven't even done enough to consistently stay in contact with people that they already know, right? We forget that this business, or any business, right? You get people, consumers out there decide to do business with people. We are people. We are not salespeople. We are people, right? That they know, like, and trust, right? And knowability, likability, trustability only gets built through connection and nurturing those connections, right? Relationships. And I think that's what you have kind of experienced so far. And yes, we have used some automations, right, to be able to get in front of those people's that could have probably traditionally, that's where most agents get stuck. They understand that, okay, I need to reconnect with my people, right? And then
right,
having to, and you're gonna go through some of that now that the stage you are in the program, maintaining that relationship, right? The system could only automate your ability to reach out and prospect and pull out those opportunities, potential opportunities that are there in your existing database. But then after you reconnect, or the system reconnects you with those people, staying in front of them is the next step. So I guess, like, with your experience so far in the academy, are there any specific, which I already know what they are, but I wanna have my viewers kind of hear that specific elements or training that have made a significant impact on you?
Oh, well, the the sales and conversion
Yeah.
probably at the point I'm in, and I'm not a whole lot past that,
Yeah.
but so the training's broken down into modules,
Yeah.
and then it's accompanied with a CRM and some other stuff.
Yeah.
But the modules kind of build on each other, and there's enough uh, referring back or repetition that
Mhm.
it kind of, you see, well, this is important and this needs to be instilled. But as far as the sales and conversion, especially with all, as far as working with buyers, but sellers too,
Yeah.
and some of the new rules, because that was foreign to me, and
Mhm.
having some of those conversations and really breaking it down, because it's a lot of it's a long module. There's a lot
Yeah.
of training
Yeah.
there, and it kind of builds on itself.
Yeah.
But as far as, because you can generate the leads, or once you kind of have a tiger by the tail, you've generated these leads. Okay, how can you convert? And I'm talking about new leads, people that you haven't
Yeah.
talked to before. And so that's one thing. And that I'm still uh, just trying to implement and trying to improve,
Yeah.
and using every interaction. Okay, how can I improve on this, to where I don't need as many new leads because I'm converting more of the people I'm talking to.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you give, by the way, you give yourself a lot less credit than you deserve from the time you started. It's only been a few months, right? And we met back in what was it, September? You came out to Detroit, and something that you told
No,
me
that
was
was in August. Yeah,
August.
yeah,
Yeah, August. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't
That
know.
was
I
August,
lose
but it
track of
hasn't
time.
been. It hasn't. It's it's been such a kind of a whirlwind since then, because I've thrown myself into it. And I think that's kind of what you do, is you have to really, because you got to put in the work, and there's a lot of work to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And the more skill set gap there is, the more involvement and engagement there has to be for you to bridge that gap. But something you told me when you came out to Detroit was, oh, since I started in the mindset habit mastery, I lost 15 pounds. And right there and then I knew that this is going to be a guy that, in the future is going to be a case study for me, because most people miss that boat, that being able to indulge enough to start seeing physical and emotional and mental results, right? That tells you that someone's committed, right? And I guess, like, for our viewers to hear, what tangible changes or results have you noticed in your business, in your personal life, in the last few months in the program, and are there any wins that stand out for you?
Well, there are some. Well, besides working on getting in a little bit better shape, and it's not just a real estate
Yeah.
training, especially in the beginning. It's a mindset training, and there's a lot of training and involved as that. But having the right mindset, and just building a business, and having the right, that makes it pretty simple,
Yeah.
because um, it's pretty detailed, what you go through, as far as just starting from the first module.
Yeah.
But just as far as taking care of yourself better, uh, motivating yourself, and I think a lot of it goes back to the mindset, but trying to. And another thing that you stressed and kind of went back, because I was complaining, is time blocking.
Mhm.
Time blocking your day,
Yeah.
and having a set time for this and a set time for that. So you don't even really, you're like, well, okay, what do I do next? Because it's already blocked out
Mhm.
for you. So it makes you more efficient
Yeah.
and consistent.
Yeah. Yeah. And what about like changes in your mindset and approach to running your business now compared to before you were running your business, especially given your long experience in the industry? Like, how are you taking it different?
Well, that it's a long game.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that you had spoke about was kind of the scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't think that I treated somebody that was either way out there, looked at it more relationship
Yeah.
wise and business building, and that this is something that I'm going to do this from now on. I want to build a business where people come back to me if they're not ready to buy for 6 months or a year or whenever. I can provide value to them. I can and help them as more of a, a consultant or somebody
Yeah.
that can help them through no matter what stage they are in the home buying or just in their life,
Yeah.
and trying to build and nurture those relationships, and so you're not constantly having to rely on new
Yeah.
business.
Yeah. And I think of course this is a journey for you, and as you continue to grow with us, right, you will acquire that more of that as your muscle memory, right? And the approach to this building a whole business, right, is that stop looking for low hanging fruits and actually build a future proof business by taking this approach, right? Hey, this is a we're gonna be in this business for 10 years. We can't keep chasing deals. Yes, deals are gonna be byproduct. I mean, I know you shared with me before. How many listings have you gotten just from your existing database so far in the last few months?
Well, I've got about four with three, maybe four that is kind of in process,
Yeah,
but I I've gotten like more than one a month just
that's amazing.
recently, and then several more relationships that are going, that are kind of moving forward in the pipeline,
Yeah,
and that's just from that I can directly relate back
yeah, yeah,
to to the sales machine basically. But as far as the learning, I mean, that's beneficial to everything, to your
yeah.
whole, whether it's a new lead or wherever it comes from.
Yeah, and I think now that you're through the sales and conversion mastery, I promise, and we have had these conversations on a daily basis, right? Like last few weeks, as you were going through that, right? You will see those leads that you were buying, right? Realtor.com leads, Zillow leads, right? If with this change in approach, you're going to have a different experience. I guarantee it, because of the conversations we have had, how you were doing it before versus the changes that you had to go through in the mindset, in the approach, in the things we were saying, right? Even in your consultations, right? I felt like there was a big difference. Now, if you were talking to another experienced agent who is probably kind of like in the situations you were, and maybe is on the fence about joining our program, what would you say to them based on your experience so far?
Well, I think that you owe it to yourself to invest in your business.
Yeah.
If this is what you want to do, if you want to be full time
Mm.
in real estate, you owe it to yourself to get uh, the right training, and training that helps. And that's one thing about it, is it's comprehensive, because
Yeah.
there's I'm learning stuff every day, and not just sales type
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff, but stuff I don't even hadn't even thought about. And
Mm.
so that is one thing. And I feel like that the program is evolving too. So like what I'm learning right now, that what you're working on, and some of the is new training
Yeah.
and kind of building on what's already there.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna use it to grow my business and grow a team.
Yeah.
Uh, and the I wish I had started it sooner. And that is one thing. If that it so would be beneficial for is somebody that's pretty new in real estate as
Yeah.
well. If you
Yeah.
start out on the right track,
Yeah.
you know that, man, it'll make the journey it
Mhm.
kind of grow so much quicker, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned doing a team. So now that you have been part of the academy for some time, what excites you the most about the future of your business, and how do you see our program playing a role in your vision, in that vision?
Well, it is as far as having a comprehensive plan
Yeah.
going forward that's not going to be stagnant, because there's so much that is evolving. It's exciting,
Mm,
whereas you know I was a little stuck
mm,
in what I was doing, and now I feel like, well, there is so much to learn and to grow, and
yeah.
so many opportunities that it's brought excitement back to my business. And
Yeah.
that's a big part of
Yeah.
your life,
Yeah.
is your business.
Yeah, I think when you lose passion in it because you're not seeing the results, a lot of people struggle. So I'm excited to, be with you in this journey, and on a daily basis being able to spend some time with you, being able to support you, right? With, stuff that you're learning and you're trying to go apply, and you feel some struggle, right? Because going back to your old patterns and putting you back on track and having those conversations, I truly enjoy it. And those of you who are listening, Todd's journey is a perfect example for what's possible when you invest in the right tools and strategies. If you are a real estate agent, team leader, or broker who is ready to stop struggling and start scaling with, technology, AI, automations, now is the time to take action. This market might make you feel like you need to, scale down, look at something else, but this is the time to take and bet on yourself, take action. So, we have some opportunity this coming month. I actually have my schedule booked up until the end of the month, but coming month we have some opportunity, some open spots for booking a power session with our team to see if Boss Agents Academy is the right fit to help you grow your business. We can look into your business, help you identify the gaps, and really see, if our program would be the right fit for you, for us to be able to help you reach more people, close more deals, and build a future-proof real estate business. So you do not wait. Send me a message, or I'll drop the link to my calendar on the comments of this video, and we can get on a call and see how we can take your business to the next level. Thank you, Todd, again for joining in. We're gonna jump on our coaching call, and let's have that conversation about the 10 new leads that you generated on Facebook group.
Hey, thanks, Saeed. I appreciate you having me.
All right, brother.